When your cat sprints down the hallway at full speed, completely ignoring a full bowl of food just to tackle your leg, do you actually know what they are deciding? Most people assume it is simple. They think cats just choose whoever feeds them the most food every day. That is a total myth. Behind those wild zoomies and sudden pounces, there is a complex biological calculation happening every single day. If you misunderstand it, you are completely missing the deepest compliment your cat can give you. Let us start with why they sprint past that full food bowl in the first place every single afternoon. 1. They do not choose the chef, they choose the anchor. Have you ever noticed your cat ignoring their dinner just to forcefully rub against your shins? We think they are just begging for better food or being greedy. That is not gluttony. That is a conscious choice of connection. Researchers in the journal Behavioral Processes in 2017 proved that many cats actually prefer social interaction with their favorite human over food. That aggressive leg rub translates to, "I value our bond more than my survival instincts for a meal. You are my true priority." They are explicitly choosing your presence over basic biological sustenance. Never take that enthusiastic greeting for granted. They walk right alongside you, matching your pace step for step, because to them, you are the anchor of their entire world. By the way, if your highly active cat suddenly stops running to greet you and hides away, do not brush it off. That sudden loss of motion is a critical warning sign. I will explain exactly why at the very end of this video. 2. They choose whoever mirrors their wild energy. Ever wonder why your cat gets the zoomies exactly when you walk around fast? People think they are just being chaotic or getting in your way. That is not random chaos. That is a synchronized ritual. They are actually deliberately synchronizing their predatory energy directly with yours. Studies in animal cognition have proven this fascinating behavioral mirroring effect. Researchers found that cats actively match the daily activity levels of their preferred human. That sudden pounce on your moving foot translates to something profound. It means, you are my chosen hunting partner, and we move as one single unit. They are honoring you with their absolute peak physical energy. So next time they sprint past you while you are busy cleaning or walking, do not scold them. They are celebrating that you are both alive. And hey, if this video is helping you finally decode your cat's absolutely wild actions, hit like and subscribe. It is the best way to help. 3. They choose the person who respects their retreat. Have you ever had your cat swat fiercely at your hand during a very intense play session, only to immediately run a few feet away and just sit there staring at you? Most owners think the cat is being mean or suddenly hates them. That is not sudden aggression you are seeing. That is not anger at all. That is a deeply instinctual boundary test that wild animals perform. Experts in feline ethology explain that cats actively choose and bond with people who allow them to retreat safely without being chased or grabbed aggressively. That playful swat and sudden run translates to, "I desperately need to know you will not trap me when my adrenaline is running very high." When they run from you, try staying perfectly still for just a minute. Watch how incredibly quickly they come right back to your side. 4. They choose you by marking you with absolute force. Does your cat ever launch themselves onto your lap or shoulder with surprising speed? We often joke that they are just being incredibly clumsy or demanding attention at the worst time. That is absolutely not clumsiness you are feeling. They are intentionally applying deep physical pressure to fully release their scent glands and mark you while their adrenaline is spiking after playing. That heavy, forceful headbutt means, "I am claiming you loudly and proudly as my own territory." Lean into it and let them know it is mutual. They do not think they are your boss when they do this. They are deliberately mixing their unique pheromones with yours, creating an invisible shield of shared scent. That heavy physical impact is their wild way of saying, "I am claiming you loudly and proudly as my own, safe territory in this unpredictable environment." So the next time they launch themselves at you, lean into that headbutt. Let them know that their wild physical claim is entirely mutual and accepted. 5. They choose to crash completely only where they absolutely cannot fall. This behavior usually happens right after their wildest, most energetic moments of play. After an hour of intense running, jumping, and chasing invisible prey, does your cat suddenly collapse directly onto your feet like a dropped sack of flour? Most people assume they are just completely exhausted and simply dropped wherever they happened to be standing at that exact moment. That is a misunderstanding. That is not random laziness you are watching. That is the highest level of strategic trust a feline can possibly demonstrate to another living creature. Falling asleep immediately after a high adrenaline hunt is when a wild feline predator is at their absolute most vulnerable and defenseless state in the natural world. Oregon State University studies in 2019 proved that cats actually view their trusted humans as secure physical bases, exactly like human infants do with parents. That sudden, heavy physical collapse right on top of your shoes translates to something very specific. I have just burned absolutely all of my predatory energy. I am completely empty. I cannot defend myself right now, and I implicitly trust you to stand guard over me while I recharge my biological batteries. So do not move your feet immediately and disturb them. Let them feel that solid, reliable ground beneath them for just a few minutes longer. 6. The one specific time a sudden lack of action is an absolute emergency. This is exactly what I mentioned at the start of this video. If your highly energetic Velcro cat, who always sprints to the door to greet you, suddenly hides deep under the sofa and absolutely refuses to move, do not assume they are just tired or wanting some independent alone time. A sudden disappearance of their wild action is not them resting peacefully. According to veterinary behavioral studies, a sudden disappearance of energy and intense hiding are the absolute top indicators of severe feline pain or hidden illness. When a cat is sick, their ancient instincts tell them that showing any weakness will immediately attract predators in the wild. So they hide away. They hide away from everyone, even the person they love the absolute most. They are desperately saying, "I am too weak to run and play. I am hurting. I am completely vulnerable, and I need to hide in the dark just to survive." If your highly active cat does this for more than 24 hours, please call your vet immediately. Do not wait around for other obvious physical symptoms to appear before taking action, because you notice the sudden lack of action in days that an outdoor cat owner might unfortunately miss for months. And those early days matter. With these hidden medical conditions, spotting that missing energy is everything. It is often the entire difference between a disease you can manage for years and a heartbreaking goodbye that simply comes way too soon. Never ignore the silence of an energetic cat. Now back to that wild daily sprint. Your cat does not choose you because you are convenient. They do not choose you just because you happen to be the one who opens cans. If it was only about the food, they would treat you like an automatic dispenser. But instead, they treat you like their essential hunting partner. Out of everyone in the entire world they could interact with, their ancient wild instincts looked directly at you and evaluated your true soul completely. They watched exactly how you move, they watched how you play, and they saw how you protect them when they are completely powered down to rest. And after calculating all of that wild energy, they decided that you, and only you, were their ultimate safe home in a very unpredictable environment. So the next time they sprint down the hallway at top speed just to violently tackle your leg, do not get annoyed or push them away. Embrace the chaos. Because to that tiny predator, you are not just an owner, you are the most important moving target in the entire world. Embrace the chaos. Because to that tiny predator, you are not just an owner, you are the most important moving target in the entire world.